Didn't have the board turned on. All right, we should have sound now. Hey, everybody. Yeah, sorry, guys. Didn't have the board turned on there. It's turned on now. What do you guys think? Good or bad? It's good for the Cowboys to go to the playoffs. It's terrible for my tanking. On the Twitter, I like to use the little tank gifs. My favorite's the ice tank where the tank's sliding around there. It's pretty awesome. I'm sad. I'll be honest. I'm sad. I want the Cowboys to go 6-10 and get a good pick. I wanted the Eagles to make a run at this thing. Cowboys are going to the playoffs at 7-9. You guys ready for that? 7-9 division champs. All right, let's see what you guys want to talk about here. Ryan, make the playoffs and get a mid-first round pick. Win-win. I mean, yeah, technically. Make the playoffs and anything can happen, right? Just got to play well at the right time, right? I hear you. I just don't know. I mean, what about this Cowboy team is making you think if you get to the tournament, anything can happen? What have you guys seen that I haven't seen? I don't know. What have you seen? Let me tweet out this link so we can all hang out together. I know you guys are already here, so you're my friends. You're my best friends. All right, got the link. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let me get that link there. Pop on the Twitter here. I'll be right back. Stompface and I are just hanging out. All right, there we go. Send out a little thingy. Okay, here we go. All right, now we're boogieing. Let's see. Scott, come on, Eagles, win. I want to hire a draft pick for my new head coach. That's what I'm talking about. We're here for championships. Now, there's two schools of thought, right? If you're in the playoffs, you get a chance to win a championship, but I don't think that they do because this team is sorry and I need a new head coach. What if they did win the championship? I guess I'd be happy with the Super Bowl, even if I'm going to have to keep dealing with Garrett. But I'm trying to win all the Super Bowls. I'm trying to get rid of Garrett. Trying to get me some draft picks. Trying to have a party. I do love that Philly boos the hell out of their team. Oh, look at Texas Ted drinking that Texas rye. Oh, I should go grab some Balcones right now. Adrian picked the Eagles to win. Why would you do that? Jason, tank and get that beast from Auburn, Derek Brown. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Derek Brown, that'd be a monster. But the Cowboys wouldn't pick him because he plays nose tackle, and they don't think that's a real position. Here's Aaron Tierney, this idiot. Giants won 2 Super Bowls limping into the playoffs. I'm allowed to call him an idiot. He's been my best friend since we were 12. They're not going to win anything, Aaron. They're not going to win anything. Tanking's fun. Once you embrace it, tanking's tons of fun. You guys just got to embrace it. It's a fun thing to do. No, John, Washington losing yesterday. They don't have a chance anymore. They did have a chance. I was hoping that they were going to win it at 6-10, but what are they at now? 2-11, I think. I don't think they can do it anymore. Ted, all he cares about is Garrett getting fired. Yep. Juan hopes the Giants win. I mean, I hope the Giants win just because it's embarrassing for Philly, and embarrassing Philly is awesome. Think about it this way, though. Think about it this way, okay? The Giants, if they win this game, all right, here's a positive if the Giants win. As Dylan just pointed out here, the Giants aren't going to take a quarterback because they think they got their guy, whether they do or not. But they'll take Chase Young if they get a top 2 pick. They'll take Chase Young. You're going to have to deal with him next decade. I don't want to deal with Chase Young. So if the Giants win, I'll look on that bright side. Gets closer to not having to deal with Chase Young. What's up, Manuel? Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to have to look up a history of what he does on offense because, man, I watched enough Michigan to want no part of Jim Harbaugh. Kurt, are the Eagles lacking talent or coaching? Well, I think the Eagles are a lot like the Cowboys. I think they kind of realize they suck and it's not fun, so they basically quit. Let's see. Marcus, how much fun are we going to have arguing about these wide receivers? I don't argue about wide receivers. I just evaluate them and nail it. Go get you another Michael Gallup. I'll do that for you. I'll get you a guy. I'll get you C.D. Lamb. What about putting C.D. Lamb in the outside? Putting Amari Cooper in the slot and Michael Gallup on the outside. What? Jeff, we don't need a receiver. We got receivers. The offense isn't the problem. We need defense. How about scoring 40 every week? I'm going to score 40. I got to overcome a bad Jalen Smith contract, a bad Ezekiel Elliott contract. I got to score 40. Ted wants to talk about Rockwall Duncanville. I don't. Call Mike Bassick. He'll talk to you. Oh, I think nose tackle's a real position, Manuel. I love me some fatties. I've been trying to get a fatty since Timmy Jernigan. I wanted Jernigan, and then when I realized that they didn't like fatties enough to take a high fatty, that I was like, okay, then I'll find the mid-round fatties, mid to late rounds. And I wanted Puna Ford, and I wanted Folorenzo Fatukasi, who's playing well for the Jets. I wanted Andrew Billings. I wanted Derek Noddy. I wanted all the nose tackles, but the Cowboys don't care. Cowboys don't care. Jeff, the Cowboys can't draft, though, from Biggie. They can draft. The Cowboys can draft. That's the thing. Like, sure, they missed on Taco and they missed on Tristan Hill, but you know whose fault that is? I can't prove this. Rod Marinelli. We can't be letting Rod in the draft room. Now, I know Rod was Tristan Hill. I tried to get your strong safety there, you know. Actually, if I went by my board, I would have taken DK Metcalf there. So you would have had DK. We could have put Cooper in the slot. We would have had Gallup. Think we'd be partying? DK was my last first-round grade on the board then. For me, it was DK, then Taylor Rapp, then Juan Thornhill. Those were my top three guys on the board. What'd they do? Pick the guy who was like 108th on my board. What do you think of the Pats cheating? I think they cheat. That's what they do. And then, Aaron, that's a good point. Playoff football is fun. I do want to be involved in the playoffs. And I want people to listen to the radio during the playoffs. So, yeah, I guess we should go to the playoffs. Whatever. What sucks is you go 7-9 and go to the playoffs, and they're like, hey, guess what? You're picking 21st in the draft. You accidentally win a game, you're picking 20-something late, and you got a 7-win team that doesn't have a pick until flipping 25. Stupid. The Eagles are out-tanking us. That's what's happening. The Eagles, we're being out-tanked. It's ridiculous. We don't need the Giants getting Chase Young. I agree. Jim Harbaugh pounds the rock. Well, then I don't want Jim Harbaugh. Kai Forbath. Yeah, Kai Forbath. He's better than Other Boy. Other Boy was 1 for 5 from 40 to 49. That's what I would be. I have 9 surgeries on my kicking leg, but I feel like I'd accidentally make one. Donovan, think Cowboys go defense or offense round 1 in the draft? I think the good bet is defense, because it could be a defensive end, it could be a defensive tackle, it could be a corner, it could be a safety. They need all of them. If there's an incredible linebacker, I would take that too. But yeah, I would bet on defense. I'm just infatuated with a lot of the receivers. John wants Chris Peterson as the head coach. I could dance with Chris Peterson. I could dance with that. Connor Diaz. Nobody's mentioned Mike McCarthy when talking about the Cowboys' new coach. No, probably because Aaron Rodgers hated him. But the thing is that Aaron Rodgers hates everybody. Like Aaron Rodgers hates his own family. Marcus with the we nailed the Deontay eval. I'm more proud of that one than Gallup. I am too, because the whole world was trying to talk me out of it, and I left him. I said, nope, he's the top 5 Deontay Johnson Steelers. He was one of my top 5 receivers, and everybody's like, oh, no, you didn't pick him in the 4th round. And I was like, no, how about he's an awesome route runner? Oh, he's an undisciplined route runner. So is Antonio Brown. You know what that's called? Creativity. Get open, bro. I love Deontay Johnson. I don't have my eye on any tight ends yet, Manuel. I'm starting my draft stuff like right now, so no, I haven't got there yet. No, we get CD. We could tell Zeke to just watch. Hey, everybody tells me the reason that you're worth it is your pass pro. Great. Block. We're going to throw to CD and Amari and Gallup. Jerry Tillery. Yeah, he was good. Brett, would you sacrifice 1 Super Bowl for 5 more years of Garrett? Unfortunately, I would. Super Bowls are awesome. I like Super Bowls. I haven't looked at Duvernay yet, Stove, but I've watched him play live, and I think he's a really fun slot guy. I got no problems taking Duvernay. I just got to figure out what round. Not in the 1st round. I got to figure out where he fits. I don't know if he's a 2nd rounder or if he's a 4th or 5th rounder. I got to watch the tape. Yeah, Vita Vea's balling, Adrian. He scored a touchdown. I'm with you, Andrew. I get sad watching Thornhill and Rapp play. Rudra, what's Arnie up to? He's up in New York. I talk to him every once in a while. Shout out to Arnie. Jack, how high will Derek Brown get drafted? Everybody's telling me top 10, which is interesting. Like, I really like him. I've only watched 2 games of tape on him, and I really like him. But he's also had like no college production at getting sacks. So what if he's Snacks Harrison? Is that a top 10 pick? 7-9 in a first place schedule. That's right, Dylan. That's what the Cowboys are going for. Good evening, Radical Me. Cowboys need one from every column. Yeah, Cowboys need pretty much somebody for every positional group. Connor Thad Moss, tight end LSU. I'll check him out. I heard Randy campaigning for him when they were doing the selection show for the playoff, when they were doing the reveal. And he was talking about how good LSU is. And he was like, yeah, my son plays there. But listen, I loved that. Big E, give me Urban or Lincoln. Or what about Coach O? I'll take Lincoln all day, day. And I'm coming around on Urban. Because when you think back about what he did at Bowling Green and what he did at Utah and what he did at Florida, like his offenses were always spread. They always had zone read. But depending on who the quarterback was, they were all a little bit different. Kind of like Lincoln's done with his last 3 quarterbacks. Kurt, are we good with O-line? I could understand if you're worried about the O-line. I really can. Because it seems like all of them are kind of banged up. Tyron's an old 28. What's Travis going to be? Left guard, is Connor Williams ever going to be good? Connor McGovern missed the whole year. Will he be good next year? But think about every other position group, and I don't think you have the luxury of picking an offensive lineman high. Like next year, if they don't keep Byron, you have 2 corners. You got Cheeto and you got Jordan. You have 2 safeties, Xavier Woods and Donovan Wilson. You have, at defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence. Gregory's under contract, but, Dorrance. So Dorrance, Lawrence, and Joe Jackson. That's your DNs. Your D tackles, Antoine Woods is a restricted free agent, and Tristan Hill. That's what you got, baby. They got so many needs that I don't think you could take an O-lineman. Let me see. Where did I go here? I don't know the tight ends yet, WW English 1, but I do think Jarwin, he's a restricted free agent, so he'll be back next year, and you start him and you let him shine. Let that man get his shine on. Henry, I think Carson's scared to run. His receivers drop the ball all the time, and they've been banged up this year. I still think Carson can play. Let's see. Yeah, me too, Big E. I get really mad every time I watch TJ Watt. Scott, no comment other than to say that Brian Broaddus makes everything that he is on so much better. I want to get him on the fan more. Ted, any chance of getting Sean Payton? If there is, take it. Would you give a first-round pick for him? Let's just say Breeze retires, Peyton goes to Loomis, and he says, hey, I don't want to be here anymore. I know I signed an extension, but I want to coach the Cowboys. Please let me go. And they say, all right, first-round pick. Would you give more than a first-round pick? Because I think I'd give up a 1 for Peyton. I want a Sunday difference maker. Sean Payton's a Sunday difference maker. Why do the cornerbacks play so far back from McKenzie? I hate our defense. Troy Aikman told you over and over again. They just line up, show you what they're going to do, and then they do it. It's the same as the offense, right? We're just going to be better than you. Well, you're not better than people. G-Bag needs to be back in the mornings. No, sir. Afternoon drive is a promotion, and you will not take away my promotion. Although if it's inconvenient for you, I'm very sorry. Hold on, Amanda's FaceTiming. Hey, dear, I'm live during the halftime of Cowboys-Eagles right now. They can't see you. You're not facing the camera. I'll call you back here in a couple minutes when I'm done. Okay, bye. Let's see. Can't invest any more premium picks on the O-line. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, there's a lot there. They need to just do their jobs. DT, cornerback, and safety. Yep. You need DN too. Sean Payton. LVE or Roquan? Well, right now I'd take Roquan, although I think LVE last year was better as a pro than Roquan so far, but I worry about the neck. Jarrell, many blunts in the car to G-Bag Prime Time. Thank you, sir. Aaron, I would not trade a first-round pick for Mike Zimmer. He'd come here and say we have to run the ball 60% of the time. And I like Zimmer. I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He just always had a giant dip in and cussed a lot, so I like him. Big E, Team Tank. I hear you, but we can't tank because the Eagles are out tanking us. So we're just going to have to win the Super Bowl, I guess. Boom. Marcus. Who would you rather sign, Quinn or Bennett? Quinn. That's easy. Because I don't know if Bennett wants to play football after this year, if we're being honest. I think there's a reason that they made the compromise to shorten his contract so he can do whatever he wants. What about Kenneth Murray in this year's draft? I like Kenneth Murray. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with him, where I'm going to play him. But I like Kenneth Murray. You know that. Boomer. What chat is he reading from? Well, this is called Restream, so I got my YouTube and my Twitch going. So you can watch on either one. I hope Giants win, not Eagles. It's a win-win. If the Giants win, they move closer to not getting Chase Young. If the Eagles win, maybe they could beat the Cowboys. We'd get a better draft pick. Jerry walks around Boise State with a shopping cart. What you drinking and what you thinking? Oh, Ray, go dictate that. Give a little Ray Lewis speech. I don't even think it's really a good Ray Lewis impersonation that I do. It's just fun. It's like a mix between the really, really passionate preacher and him answering questions after the Super Bowl. No weapon. That was a lot of fun. Bill, just when I was going to bed. That's right. You got to stay up. You got to hang out with me. Jalen Smith or Miles Jack from Adrian? Miles Jack. I was starting to think I'd be wrong on that. I was starting to think that Jalen was the better player, but I've been watching football this year, and the D tackles aren't helping out because we got no good fat boys, and Marinelli just wants everybody to run up the field, which means you get free access to the second level if you're an offensive lineman, and the second level is a guy who can't move laterally and can't take on blocks, and Jalen, so he's screwed. He's double screwed. I'd rather have the guy whose knee works, even if he needs microfracture one day. Do you really think a good coach would come here and work under Jerry? He already drove away two good coaches in Jimmy and Bill. It depends how desperate he is. Like, I think this is the most mad people have been at Jerry in a really long time for keeping Garrett around. Is he desperate enough to go full Parcells like he did when he needed a stadium? Maybe. That's what makes Sean Payton interesting, because him and Jerry really like each other. So Peyton would come in and be like, yeah, I know how you want to do things, and you know that I don't want you to, but we'll be friends, and we'll figure it out, and it'll be great. Eagles are getting it handed to them. Upcoming free agents. I had to see that. Yes, Jalen Smith did hit the $60 million finesse move. Now he's got a mink coat, and he's selling sunglasses, missing tackles. Did you see a new DC switching our base defense? 3-4-4-3. D-Law would be fine as a 3-4 outside guy. You get a true nose. Ends. The personnel's not great for it, but you can do it. You can make it work because basically they're the same. There is no 3-4. Everybody runs a 4-2. It's just a matter of if a guy's hand is on the ground or not. They're a nickel. They're not a 3-4 team. Nobody's a 3-4 team. They're playing 4-2. Everybody is. Jerry going to play it right at first with a real coach. That's what I'm hoping for, is that he's so upset and frustrated that he brings in the best coach in the world that he can possibly get and gets out of the way. And then they'll start winning, and he'll start being like, oh, yeah, well, Coach Riley, I see you out there winning, and I noticed that you're doing that with the players I gave you, and I thought that I'd probably poke my head in there and give you a couple of plays I had in mind. I really like the waggle, you know, when you run that one. And, by the way, I hired you a new coordinator, 2 of them, and they're just going to be here. I'm going to fire these other 2. I know you liked them, but they're going to be these ones because I got to put my finishing touches on this thing so we can win the Super Bowl and everybody can say that Jerry did it. So here's your new coordinators. Let's see. Give your order of likelihood for return. Witten, Cobb, Quinn, Bennett, Malik. Okay, let me see here. In order, I guess I would go, I will say I think there's no chance on Cobb. I think there's no chance on Bennett. I think there's little chance on Collins. Witten, I hope not, but I could see it. Well, Garrett will be gone, so if Witten comes back, he at least won't be starting. And Quinn, I hope. Quinn would be nice. What do you think about the new kicker? I think he's better than Marr, but so are you and everybody else. Well, I guess it depends on the contract that Cobb can get. You know, he was a 1-year fix. That was the goal, was to get a 1-year cheap veteran, play the slot, and then figure it out long term. See if one of the young guys can step up, or you draft another guy. But I guess if he wanted to play for 1 year and $5 million again, sure, come on back, old man. How effective do you think Jerry would be wearing the utility belt and headset on the sideline? Let him be the first head coach, owner, GM. I think he could do it. Because you got to think about it. If it's Jerry down there, he's not thinking fast enough to actually call plays. So they'd start the game, and he'd be like, now, Dak, you just remember when you're back here in the pocket and calling the plays that you wing it on out there. Make sure you're accurate, and you get it to the receivers, and the receivers going to make plays for you. Don't forget, now you got Zeke back there, and you can get to him a few times, and he's going to push a pile for us. And by the time he's done talking, your timeout's over, and he's still going, and Dak's just walking away to call the next play, and Jerry's talking to himself, and he's got the utility belt, and he's like, well, I'll be damned. I didn't realize I had toenail clippers by down here on the belt next to my microphone, and I figure I can get that done right now. Give me a little nose hair trim and take care of business down here. Let's see. Do you think Dak not signing is from Dak's side and not the Cowboys? No, it's from both. Cowboys tried to half-ass it and offer him like $25 million, and Dak's side was like, oh, you think that's funny? Okay, then we want 40. And so they were stuck. They should have just said, hey, where's the Wentz Goff deals? Copy one of them, get it done. And now it'll probably cost you more or less. Maybe Dak has a terrible last 3 games and they miss the playoffs and he doesn't get 33. Cobb going to a better quarterback situation? Maybe, if he can find one. Got to find somebody who wants the old man. Cobb's good. I like Cobb. You guys are out of questions. So I guess I'll just do more Jerry. Just look into the camera and tell you guys a bedtime story. Once upon a time, there was a young princess, and she's trapped up in a tower, and she was guarded by about 2 dragons, and 2 of them were big fire breathing. They had all the claws and the tail. They swing the tail, and that'll hurt you. It will, and it did, and it does, and it will, and it's a tail on a dragon. And there was one brave knight who decided he was going to free the princess. And that knight's name was Romo. He's a miracle. He was a miracle. And he got up there in that tower, and sure enough, he found 2 things he could throw. One was a spork. It was plastic, but he knew the weak spots on the dragon, and so he let that one go and took one out right in the eye, and that one went down. And he looked around the room and didn't have nothing left, so he went full Austin Powers, whipped a shoe off and let that one go, and dragon tried to breathe fire on the shoe and end up being on fire, going down on its insides, and that dragon done died on a fire shoe. And he got the princess, and they live happily ever after. They're a 3% investor in the Cowboys now. Okay. Any trades? Division championship or top 10 pick? I want a top 10 pick. Waylon Jennings or George Jones? I guess I'd go Waylon. Corey, that's Grizzly, wintergreen, long cut. You're right, PB Collins. I forgot. Relative to and mosquito cricket's ass and. Do you think Urban Meyer would have been down for extending Zeke? Probably not, because he probably knew how much fun Zeke liked to have. Rams or Dallas? I have the Rams by double digits. Yes, I think we should fire every coach, Zach. I sure do. I think they should fire every coach because I don't think any of them have earned the right to be there. Hey, thanks, Alvy. Top 10, baby. Cowboys giving points. I'm taking the Rams. I think that line's moved all the way to a pick 'em, something like that. I don't know. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go back out and watch this terrible game. It's stupid football teams who don't know what they're doing. All right. You guys have a great night. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to leave now. Unless there's something really cool. Yeah, I'll keep Kit and Zach. That sounds great. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Peace out. Gavin, you my... All right, thanks, Eric. You're the man. Is that Marcus or Marquez? Marquez. Boop, 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 boop. See you, Stimbo. All right, everybody. If you're not following my YouTube page, you better do it. And I think there's like an alert one that'll tell you when I post stuff. Do that too. I'm trying to get filthy rich. All the money. I'm trying to get that Jerry Jones money. Jerry Jones money. All right, peace.